Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
And so at this time, I'm going to try one last time and see if Holub is here, because I don't know if he is here. Brother Holub, are you there? Oh, hello? You are. Fantastic. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you, brother?
I'm fine. Doing good.
You sound tired.
Yeah, but I'm doing a 12-hour shift.
I hear you.
Yeah, but I'm good now.
So, so let's come on in with it. Drop your part, my brother.
Oh, about the Nationhood for Dummies.
Yes, sir.
Well, who's on the phone?
Just me and you. Kala and Earl, they're here also, but they're mute.
Oh, okay. What's up, fellas? Yeah. Basically, like what me and you had spoken about earlier,
right,
is that we have to get used to the concept of holding power.
Yes.
And knowing what it takes to run, a nation with millions of people.
Right.
Right now, I think that what you hear a lot of is people talking like nationhood is like a motorcycle club. Like
right.
you all go and get some leather jackets and wear the same patch and think the same, and everybody, it's like, I hear people say things like, well, if I have a nation, everybody got to think the same, or we can't have people doing this because I don't approve of it. And I find that funny because you're living right now in a nation where there's 1,000 people doing things, millions of people are doing things that you don't approve of. Yet for some reason, the nation is still operating.
Right.
It hasn't spun off its axis or anything. The world hasn't blown up. You living right here, and everybody's still doing the things that you don't approve of, but yet, the commerce and the economy keeps going on.
Right.
And that's the thing that we have to understand is that it's not about everybody thinking the same. What it's about is providing a government that will take care of its people.
Right.
The basic needs of its people. That's what it's all about. It's not about controlling people's individual lives and choices and what they do and all of that nonsense that people, seem to dominate the airwaves now. It's mainly about having a good economy, equal opportunity, quality of life.
Right.
Things like that. That's what nationhood is about.
Right. Gotcha.
So basically that's it in a nutshell.
Gotcha. Okay. And can you give people a brief, because you done laid it down in your video already, so I know you have an expansive understanding of that, but just give people a brief understanding what we say when we say infrastructure. And nationhood also, but infrastructure, because you're the first person I've heard, basically explain infrastructure at length and tell them why it's non-denominational and it trumps all the divisions that we have.
Yeah, the infrastructure is important because once you have that piece of land, building, like surveying the land to find out what the resources are that's on the land, and going about the process of building it, that's where the jobs come in. As a matter of fact, Obama he's been putting it out there about infrastructure in the United States of America as a way to gain jobs.
Right.
because the infrastructure is crumbling, and so he wants to go about the process of rebuilding it. And in that process of rebuilding, you're going to create, thousands of jobs. And it's the same thing with us. I mean, think about it. How long do you think it took to build New York City? And how many people had jobs during that time? And for how long?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the thing. It's like, and like you were saying before, like infrastructure is secular.
Right.
It doesn't care about your belief system. Just like in New York, when you get, it doesn't matter like what your religious belief is. You still swipe your Metro card.
Right.
It takes money from everybody. I'm quite sure, like Muslim, Hebrew, Christian, like all types of degenerates or whatever. As long as you can afford to get on that train, they will take your money.
Right.
And basically that's it. It's like, and in the process of that, and Kala probably will build on this, in the process of you cultivating your land and building your infrastructure, that's when your culture starts developing.
Right.
Right now we have a culture in our inner cities here in America. People always say, oh, well, nobody seems to care about the place that they live at. It's because they don't have any vested interest in it. They didn't build it. They were just put there. So they don't care about, messing it up or throwing garbage. But could you imagine when you had a hand in building the neighborhood that you live in?
Mm-hmm.
Not only will you not mess it up, but you'll mess up anybody who tries to mess it up.
Exactly.
So that's another added bonus, is that by having a vested interest in the place that you stay in, knowing that your hands had something to do with the building of that building or that road or that highway or those streets and everything, that makes you have pride.
Right.
And when you have pride and you in what you built, you protect what you built.
Right.
So this is why
land
infrastructure, and nationhood is just a no-brainer at this point.
Right.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, we can talk about building here in America all day long, and fine, if people want to do that or attempt to do it, it's cool. But you got to have some place that's your base of operation outside of the jurisdiction of the United States of America. Right. You have to. And I mean, why I have to explain why we need that is crazy to me. I mean, that should be self-evident. I mean, come on. Why do you think? Mm-hmm. Because we have permanent second-class citizenship here in America. Does anybody, even the most hardcore pro-America black person, do they honestly think that at some point in time that we're going to be equal to white folks in this country?
And I would say
really?
Not at all. Not at all. But you know what, though, bro? There's some people who think that because we're making a lot of babies, we're going to birth ourselves into that kind of power.
Oh, yeah, we're going to take over, and then we're going to become the majority. See, what they don't understand is white folks might at some point be the minority in America, but their spirit will live on through our mentality.
Right. There you go.
We'll have a bunch of chocolate-covered white people here in America.
Right.
I mean, we already got it now, but so I don't understand why people think that just being like having the actual skin complexion of black means anything if you're still going to follow the same spirit and culture and philosophy of white folks.